All right, guys. So this is our third call for our Stuck to Unstuck series. I'm really excited about this series because so far, I know for me personally and for my team, it's been really eye-opening to hear from these coaches and what's working for them and how they were stuck. Because I think a lot of the times when you're stuck in this business, you feel like you're alone and you feel like there's no way that you can get yourself out of it. But guys, at any time, you can make that decision to restart your business. I believe I mentioned last week, but everyone has a sign up date and a start date. And sometimes that sign up date and start date are the same days. And other times they're years apart. And even, you might have a couple start dates where you started a year or two ago and then life happened and you got stuck and this business might have been bumped to the back burner, or you might have just, whatever, had things happen and you committed to 2019 to pulling yourself together and pulling your team together and moving to whatever you want to achieve in this business. And so with this series, you guys are able to hear from coaches who have within the last year or two, been able to move themselves from being stuck into that unstuck category. And so tonight we get to hear from Keisha, and hopefully I'm saying that right, but we're going to hear from Keisha Embry, and she is a mommy of two kids. They're 6 and 4 years old. She has a doctorate of physical therapy, and I know because my husband has a doctorate in physical therapy, it is not easy to get that degree, you guys, so she's pretty smart. She also is still practicing pediatric physical therapy part-time, and she's been building her business while working full-time hours with 3 toddlers, and she's been coaching for 3.5 years. That's a lot, you guys. She has a lot going on in her life, and she's been able to do some amazing things with this business. She's currently a 6-star in her first business center. She's 1 star in her husband's business center. She's 1 star in her second business center. So combined, they have, over 8 diamonds, which is pretty amazing. She was a 2019 Elite Team. They finished number 83 with her Legacy Project team name. And then she is also currently a SC10 legend. So what that means is that she's been helping at least 5 people every single month for at least the last 24 months, get started on their health and fitness journey or their business journey as well. So that's pretty amazing, you guys. Those stats show that she's doing things that are working in this business, and she's, applying what she's learning and really running with it. So Keisha, I'm going to hand it over to you, and please tell me I'm saying your name right.
You are saying it right. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes. Now I need to find you on the list so I can get you as the picture and not me.
I'm in a green sweatshirt.
Yes, I see you.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for that introduction, guys. But I want you to just pretend she didn't say any of that, because I want you to feel like I'm just your friend talking to you at a coffee shop, because I am no freaking different than you. Okay. I think it's so easy for us to look and have other people speak to us and that we admire as leaders, and we hear all these accolades, guys. But if you take anything from me today, is know that I'm just a normal everyday mom. And that if I can freaking make this business work, so can you. And I freaking believe in you, and I believe you can do it. And you're already doing some of the actions because you showed up here tonight. So thanks for jumping on. So I'm not gonna go through my entire story, because that's not really why you're here. I'm just gonna hit the high points of kind of what brought me here. So like Meg said, I'm a PT. I kind of stumbled into Beachbody. I lost my dad to cancer. And if you've ever lost someone that's close to you, the best way I can describe is when he took his last breath, my entire life changed. It's like a switch flipped. And I really decided to stop playing small, stop living my life stuck, because I felt very stuck. And it's funny that you this whole thing, the Legacy Project, my team, the mission is to really empower other women to get unstuck in their life. And I'm so passionate about that, because that's the best way to describe me. I was very stuck whenever I stumbled upon Beachbody. And so a month after I lost my dad, in the middle of my grieving, I decided, I looked in the mirror one day and I was a physical therapist with 2 kids in my dream job that was sucking the freaking life out of me. I was working so many hours. I was 35 pounds overweight and I was literally miserable. And I decided that no one was going to change it but me. I had to fit in the Old Navy dressing room trying on jeans when my son, I was 10 months postpartum and I was still in maternity jeans. And so I went on a search to find something. I stumbled across Beachbody on Pinterest. And I want to share this part of my story because I think it's important. And everyone has different views about whether they sign discount coaches and all of these things and whether they let people. And I'm not going to tell you my view is right or wrong, but I'm going to tell you how I entered the business. And maybe it'll make you open your mind a little bit to various different ways. But I found the 21 Day Fix on Pinterest back when it was DVDs. I wouldn't even buy the DVDs because I was so cheap. I was really like a bitter person back in the day. And so I Googled and I found some chick. Literally need to find her. Her name was Tanya. She had literally videotaped herself doing the 21 Day Fix on YouTube. And I did it with Tanya. And I did the meal plan with figuring out things on Pinterest and measuring stuff in my own freaking cups. Okay. And so I had no idea about what Beachbody was or the coaching opportunity. I honestly wouldn't have listened to it at this point in my life. But my coach came across my news feed back then, and she was offering to support women who was doing the 21 Day Fix. She let me in her group despite me saying I already had this stuff, which was kind of a lie because I didn't. I was just told you I was doing it off YouTube. And she tried to send me on Shakeology, and I was like, no, girl, I'm way too good for that stuff. I don't even know what you're talking about, but no. And so anyway, she still let me in. And so I was in there and I started really loving it. I decided I needed to do the 21 Day Fix Extreme. And I felt guilt that she had been so nice to me and I hadn't bought anything from her. So I decided to buy the DVDs from her. She upsold me on the challenge pack for the Shakeology. I was like, this is stupid. And I remember telling my husband, who's practically Dave Ramsey, and I was like, I think I'm going to buy these DVDs and get the shake with it. And he was like having a fit at me. And I checked with my coach and I was like, I can return the bag back if it's empty, right? And she was like, yes. I was like, so I can just enjoy the whole bag and return it. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I'll probably do that. Like this is the type of person I was, guys. And so she was like, okay. So anyways, I got it. I loved it. She signed me up for the discounts from the beginning because she knew I was married to Dave Ramsey, and she had enough confidence that I was going to like it and that I was going to continue. And if I didn't, she would help me cancel the coach account. So I was like, cool. I loved Shakeology. And I started feeling in my heart that this had helped me so much, just all of it, that I really needed to help other women too. And no social media following. Actually, after I lost my dad, I had deleted everybody from my life and from my Facebook. And so I was really starting from nowhere, but I just decided to put my story out there one day. Luckily, I had a few people reach out. I helped them and it lit my fire. I was one of those people who, when I decide to do something, I'm going to do it. So I got to Diamond fairly quickly. And then from there, I got to 1-star. How? Because I made my husband a Diamond coach, right? So I got as far in the business as I could get by myself. So this is what I was doing. I was leading with fitness. I was helping people sign up for the discount. And I was at this point. And then I chilled there for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years, almost 2 years. So I still hit Success Club all but 1 month in my business. I've hit Success Club 10 or more. It was the summer of 2017. I almost threw in the towel and quit. I was tired of seeing everyone else break advance around me. I was putting in the work. My coach stepped back from the business completely. So I no longer had that upline support. So if you're on here and you don't have upline support, do not tell yourself and give yourself that excuse that you can't have success, because it's crap. And let me be that example for you, because even my coach, my upline was a coach rank when she signed me, and we figured the business out together. And then she stepped back, and we're still really great friends, and she's still technically my coach but doesn't run the business, and we talk daily. But you know, it just wasn't for her. But just because I almost allowed the fact that it wasn't for her to make me decide it wasn't for me, and I had to take a step back. And that's when I didn't hit Success Club, and I had to take a step back and really look at my business and decide why was I here? What did I want to create? Why was I a coach? Where did I want to go? And that's going to lead me straight to my first point. In 2017, before when I wanted to quit, I had to get really clear on what my mission and vision is. And I know you've heard that before, but I'm going to tell you it again, because I can tell you right now that if inviting scares you, if talking about the coaching opportunity scares you, if when someone tells you no, if that bothers you, if when someone quits on your team, if that bothers you, then you are not clear on your mission and vision. Okay? When you're clear on your mission and vision, it's like a fire that burns inside of you. And no matter what everyone else is doing, you wake up every day freaking pumped to serve the mission. Okay? And that's how I got really clear on it. And that's how I am every freaking day. It does not matter. Like, I wish I had all the time in the day to freaking invite all the people and tell all the people, because my passion for what we have to offer burns strong. It's my life's work. It's my purpose. It's my calling. It is what God has called me to do on this planet, right? So when you can approach this business with that, everything will change for you. I can't give that to you though. You've got to find it. And the way I found it, and I'm not necessarily advising this, but I'm really honest. You haven't noticed. And so I want to tell you how I found it and kind of some of the steps that I took. Because I didn't have an upline. Now, back 3.5 years ago when I came on, if you haven't been coaching that long, this network wasn't as giving and sharing as it is now. Like, training was like some kind of freaking lock and key secret. So like, if you were not certain people's teams, you didn't have it, right? Like, I didn't have it. And then somewhere, thankfully, things evolved and people started sharing, and Beachbody Champions was there and all that stuff, which is great. So if you're on here again with no upline, there is no lack of resources for you to freaking slay this business, right? But that can also like create the squirrel like momentum to where if you're not clear on your mission and vision, you never do anything that's serving your mission and vision. You just go and do what everybody else is doing, right? So if someone shares an invite that's working for them and it doesn't sound like you, and that's true to your mission and vision and how you want to approach people, and you start doing it, it's not going to work for you. If it was that freaking easy, us, like our leaders that are building a team, like our jobs would be so freaking easy. I would just give my team everything that I do and they would all do it. And then it would just, everybody would just freaking blow it out of the water. We'd be millionaires, right? Like, that's not the way it works. So you have to be really clear on like what you want to do. And so what I did, I removed myself from all groups, took myself out of Beachbody Champions. I took myself, I don't have an upline, but I'm in Barbie Caleb's down, like, group, and Josh Spencer, I'm in their downline. So I was in those groups. I took myself out, and I had to do that personally because I had to put my blinders on and figure out what the flip Keisha wanted to do with this business and where Keisha wanted to go. And I even got so clear, I thought about where I wanted, what my team I wanted to look like what did I want the culture on my team to be, or I want the culture in my challenge groups or fit community to be like. I was really clear on that. And then I started looking at how can I start creating that culture. So actually, when I started sharing some of my vision, some of my mission of the things that I wanted to create at the end of 2017, going into 2018, I actually had a coach tell me, I think that sounds really stupid and it sounds gross. And this is a friend, and someone said that, and I was like, and if someone had said that to me 1.5 years ago, I would have changed my plan. But you know what I did? I said, you just don't see it. You don't see my mission and vision. Like, you don't understand it. But to me, it sounds freaking fabulous, and I'm going to make it happen. And that's exactly what I did. I didn't allow them because, again, I was clear. So I got really clear on what I wanted to create. And so from there, I got to work. Last October, well, not last year, I guess, in 2017, October of 2017, I'm also like on a dead leg. Like, I have no strong leg, no power leg. Nobody does anything for me. All volume, all things are created by myself and my team. So I like looked at my like coach office, and I used to hate to look at it. and how many like coaches were added to my organization in October 2017, and there was two. One of them I had added, and one of my other coaches had added, and I had one coach in Success Club. And so I was like, well, that's cool. And here's the thing, I had working coaches. I did have some coaches, like, bless their hearts. I've had coaches, guys, that's been with me since like month 2. I have no freaking clue why they stayed with me for so long, because they were not making money. But bless their hearts, I love them to death, and I'm so glad that we're here, and I'm so glad that they're finally making money. But there was really like no reason for them to be here. But instead, like, I had changed my mindset so much that instead of being mad and bitter at them and saying, why aren't they working? Why aren't they doing this? Like, as leaders, you can just be like, and I could have told myself all these lies. I'm attracting the wrong people. I need to find my tribe, like all of these things. But you know what really changes the game for you? When you get really clear with yourself and you look in the mirror and you're like, you're not leading them. You're not serving them the way they need to be served. So when you change your mindset from they're the wrong people to maybe I'm not giving them what they need, what I need isn't necessarily what they need, right? So my point number 2, so first was get clear in the mission if you lost that. Number 2 is stop being selfish. I stopped being selfish and wanting the rank for me. I shifted my mindset that I'm not hitting Success Club in November if I can't help them hit Success Club. I'm not worried about rank for me. I need to help them make money. So that helped me to look at my systems and look at what I could do. Everyone's team's different. I attract the busy professional working mother with toddlers at home that literally have little time in their day. So I really started to look at our systems, look at our challenge groups, look at inviting, look at all the things and figure out how I can make it easier for them, how I could duplicate, and how I could create ways that literally all they had to worry about was bringing in the people. Because my mission is to serve people, is to empower them and get them unstuck. And I can't just do that alone. I need a team. I want to serve all the people. I want to bring in all the people. So I need to have a team help me to do that. I had to create a culture and a system to where my busy people could do that. So one thing is I stopped teaching Power Hour, and honestly, I have no clue why I used to teach a Power Hour, because I've never ran a Power Hour in my freaking life, because I have always worked in the pockets of time from my phone. I've just always been really intentional. So I started teaching them what I call Power Pockets. I have a whole video on it in Beachbody Champions if you want to go check it out. And I still teach my team the same now. So I taught them to be really intentional with their time. So when they literally have 5 minutes, they pick up their phone and they don't scroll. They know what to do in that 5-minute span of time that can help them build their business. So I did that. I started making our challenge groups easier. We don't start and stop challenge groups. We have one big community. That was part of my vision. I wanted to create a culture and a community that I didn't feel like I had played the game where my challenge groups are dead, nobody's posting, all of that stuff. I didn't want to live that life anymore. I wanted to create a community and culture that people wanted to show up. I didn't have to make them show up. They wanted to freaking be there, right? So I really started concentrating on community. I have no clue who's on Shakeology and who's not. It's not my purpose. I don't want to make them drink it. I want them to fall in love with it like I did. I want them to want to drink it. I want them to want to drink the performance line. I want them to want to. And the way they will want to is I share it. I do it and other people do it. And then they want to do it. And then they finally, then they experience it, right? So I started creating a community that we could all use. And that community is still running strong today. We have, I think the last I looked, it's 1.5K people, which blows my mind. But it's so fun. And I just love everyone in there. And it's just our community. We have shirts, the Legacy Project, we have team headbands, all these things. And these people, even if they're not a part of the team, they're part of our culture. When we were number 83, they were just as pumped as my team was, because they had a hand in that. If we don't have customers to serve to equal Success Club points, which equals elite points, then the Legacy Project is nothing. So I think yes, it's a team. Yes, it's the working people, but guys, it's your freaking customers. It's your discount coaches. It's everything. If they don't exist, you don't exist. You don't have a paycheck. So you've got to really find that passion to serve them too. So we started creating a community. So then my group, my girls didn't have to worry about starting and stopping challenge groups and making cover photos and scheduling posts and all that kind of stuff, because all of that stuff can be important. But when you have very little time, like, you just decide to quit because you just don't have time to do it. And again, I'm not saying that our way is the best way or the right way. It was just the truest to my mission and vision, to my team and my culture. Okay. So I don't want you to think that, and if something is working for you, please, please, please don't stop. I'm just sharing with you what helped me. And it all, though, comes back to being clear on my mission, vision, and culture. Okay. So I really started concentrating on helping them, serving them, and helping them to make money by creating duplication. So I think I said all the things I wanted to say. Facebook community, simple systems, gave them scripts so they didn't have to think about it. Like, if your coaches, I had coaches who would not invite because they were not sure what to say next. I have coaches that will not bring people into the opportunity because they don't know how to get them started. You have to figure out what holds people back. Sometimes as leaders, we get really mad. Like, we tell them what to do. We tell them what to do. Like, you have to make sure that you're not just telling them what to do, that you're slowing down enough. And that goes to point 4, that you're slowing down enough to actually lead, that you're slowing down enough to actually get in the trenches with them and mentor them and walk them through it. If you actually slow down, and this is something I realized, if I actually slow down and with my new coach and help them invite right then when I'm on a Zoom call with them, whenever they have someone respond and I like voice memo them and walk them through it, when I can take someone through the process of inviting to enrolling someone at least one time, I can check that off, that I know they know how to do that, right? Then I can release that skill to them. But if I just and I get it. I wanted everybody to be self-starters too. I didn't have the training. I didn't think you could figure it out. But here's the thing, guys. It's sometimes people just need to be led. They will take off. They just need you to slow down enough to like show them the way, teach them the way. And once you teach them, then they can run, then they can go. But we just have to slow down and teach them. So I stopped training. I stopped like telling, and I actually started teaching. I actually started walking with them hand in hand. Let me show you this. And that, you might be like, well, I don't want a handhold. Well, no, neither do I. And I don't handhold those that don't need handheld anymore. But a new coach, until they can hit Success Club that first time, they need you to hold their hand a little bit, to believe in them first and show them they can do it. And then once they do it, then they know that they can keep doing it, right? And so that part of your mentorship is check, done. They know how to bring people in. Now let's talk about the next thing that maybe they don't know how to do in their business. So that's basically that. So got clear on my vision, stopped being selfish, concentrate on duplication, and slowed down and actually led. So I'm totally an open book and totally down to answer any questions. If you have any questions about any different parts of that, of how I did it, or how I do that, I'm totally open to share.
All right, guys, that was awesome. So if you guys have questions, we'll do like 5 to 10 minutes. For questions, just type them in the chat bar. I see, let's see. Is your one community open to all your coaches using this as their challenge group? And the people who get brought into this group have been those who bought challenge packs. So it's a group filled with coaches and clients, correct?
Yes. So it's one big community. It is open to everyone. I never push any coaches out. I can just tell you that there becomes a natural point as coaches are becoming leaders that they want to duplicate this and create this their own. I don't tell them and make them. They come to me and say, okay, I think I want to do this. Because why? They get clear on their mission and vision, which may be a little bit different than mine. Their style may be a little bit different than mine, and they are ready to take ownership and duplicate this with their team. So they do that. So I don't have this rule like I used to have this rule, because before, I didn't really mention my story. I had actually produced other diamonds before, but they never held for 6 weeks, and then they all ended up quitting because I burned them the freak out. But so I don't push people out. They decide when they're owning their business enough to take that leadership role. So yeah. So then the way it works too, we don't really put a whole lot of content in there. Like everything's duplicatable. So like so teaching people like prep week, there's like a whole prep week. Now you could do it as a unit. At the time we used to do it as a file. So people, when they brought people in, they introduced them to the community, and then they would tag them in a prep week file that would take them through what they needed to do for prep week. And then like we had different files for different like fitness programs, like right now for Transform 20 or whatever. But in our community, a lot of people are doing Transform 20. Some people are doing other programs, but what happens is those who didn't jump on the Transform 20 boat are watching all the other people doing Transform 20. So then we're 2 days in and people are already hitting me up like, hey, I want to do Transform 20, right? So makes it really good for launches and stuff too, because you can get your entire downline customer base freaking pumped up. So I can tell you on launch day, our like volume has been out the freaking roof, because I as a leader don't have to worry about like if my coaches are like putting the message down to all their people. Like I know that their people can get the message in our one big community when I'm sharing it. So that's definitely a perk. We do use the Challenge Tracker app too, and most of my coaches run their own. So I personally, and they're free to do the Challenge Tracker app if they want to or how they want to. I'm not their boss. I create my Challenge Tracker app. I can tell you I put no content in the app. My people know I set the expectation that basically everything happens in the community, but I will check the fitness logs a couple of times a week for their accountability in the My Challenge Tracker app. So they know that if they're not logging their workouts, I'm coming to look for them, but I don't necessarily like post a challenge group guides or like all of that stuff. What that allows me to do too is anybody that joins in Transform 20 on day 18 can still like come in, see everybody doing it. And it's just like purely for accountability. All my people are in one spot. I can send them a message in one spot. And so that's just how I use it. And most of my coaches use the app too for that exact same reason and just have their own app group. So our community does have sweaty selfies, but it's really a lot less sweaty selfies and more like people actually sharing value and sharing like life struggles. And like we had a community member today whose husband was in a car accident and lost his arm. And so like people are just outpouring their love for them. And like we do like community like things together. So like it like can support different causes and things like that. And again, that's just true to my vision and mission. And so that's just what we created. I don't know, hopefully that answers your question.
No, I love that. The other thing, someone was asking if you would share your invite scripts. And that's obviously totally your call. And then the other thing is just my own question is I would love to hear from you. Like, so you made these shifts and you said, okay, I need to get clear on my mission. I need to remove myself because yes, there's a lot going on. I need to get laser focused and, focus on what I want to do with my team. I have to make sure I'm giving them things to duplicate. I have to make sure that I'm leading them, like slowing down and leading them. What have you seen change in your team? Like, what are the positive changes that have happened because you've made these kind of changes?
Yeah, so now I am developing leaders. I no longer feel like I drag people. Like I have people like as fired up and pumped up as I am. I have people who now are making money and now are making a difference in their families' lives, who are going through the ranks. My concentration personally this year is creating a lot of deeper like leaders of leaders within my downline. And since I've slowed down, I have a coach going into 3-star qualification tomorrow and things like that. So they have really found their voice in their leadership, and they've been able to find their mission and vision and serve so many more people. And at the end of the day, like we're just all having fun. I mean, we have fun. This business should be fun. Like it is a business. It does take hard work, but you should be enjoying it. So that is the biggest thing, is like they believe in themselves now because I believed in them and helped them to kind of find their way. And, I think for me, that's just been really, really rewarding as a leader. And it just helps them have confidence that they too can become an elite coach. They too can make a full-time income and all of those things. So it's really the culture. Like we don't have any negative energy or anything like that on our team. And people always ask me, like, do we have rules and regulations? And we don't. And I think it's just because we just lead. Like I talk so passionately about my mission and vision and things like that on my social media. So I naturally attract people that share that same view on life. So does that answer your question?
Yes, no, I love that. And I think that probably speaks to every single leader that's on here, that we want to be able to help our coaches succeed and make money for their families and be happy in this business. Okay, last question, guys. So after your dad passed away, so sorry for that, you decided to stop playing small. Have you ever faltered from that? I feel like I personally have ebbs and flows, even though my why is huge. What keeps you fired up?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I can't tell you exactly. Like, I wish I could just like give it to you, but to me, if you still have some ebbs and flows, then you're not 100%. Like, you know your why, but you don't. I think you lack. I think the belief. So, in my opinion, belief and like mission and vision are different. So you can have a vision, you can have a mission, you could have a why, something for like the reason you want to do it, but you have to also believe you can do it. And so I not only have that, but I freaking believe that I can do it. So no one will stop me from doing it, right? Like, no circumstance is going to stop it from happening because I believe that, that I will create leaders and that I believe that I will have multiple elite coaches this year. I believe that I will make $1 million in this business. Like, I believe it. So that keeps me like, there's no ebbs and flow. No matter what everyone else is doing around me, I know. I believe.
Yes. I love that answer. I absolutely love that answer. Keisha, thank you so much. Thank you for being an open book and being so honest about, everything that you shared. I think that everything you shared is so applicable to what these leaders need to hear. And guys, take what she said, put little stars or highlights or whatever over the things that you're going to apply this week to your business. And freaking go for it. Like Keisha said, stop playing small because there's no reason why you can't be succeeding in this business other than, like she said, that you're not believing that you can. So thank you so much, guys. This recording will be up in the group tomorrow, or given to your upline so that you have the recording as well. Keisha, thank you so much. Guys,
you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, have a wonderful Tuesday night, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.